from watching battle raps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey,
And
you guys are
like,
dropping
like,
right into the discussion. It's the Build and Destroy show. Yes, we are here. Wicked Meticulous, High Rise, and May Dolly. Not to interrupt you guys' chatter, why don't you bring the audience in, fill them in on what we're talking about today?
yeah, I heard Daylight was talking about how a lot of the top MCs in the game are actually very good at battle rap or have had a past of battle rap. So, be it mainstream or not, hip hop and battle rap have always been intertwined. They both pull from each other. And that whole myth about, oh, battle rappers can't make songs, that's a myth and a lie. Some of them can't, you're right, but there's an abundance of battle rap based MCs who have grown to become top MCs of the game. So I don't like that. Just because somebody battle raps predominant, don't think that they can't craft a song or make
Yeah,
a bar.
lots of artists that don't battle rap and try to make songs can't make songs. So what's their fucking excuse?
Oh, yeah, don't sleep on these battle MCs, man. If anything, they got more of an edge than the person that hasn't stepped in those waters and has only made studio tracks. Like being out there and rubbing off with these different personalities and feeding off a crowd, you almost know how to craft in a whole different level that way.
Nah, that's dope. I mean, I 100% agree and support. I'm not gonna be no biased person against people that predominantly battle. It's a unique skill set in and of itself, but definitely shit. I ain't gonna be one to say just because you like to battle that you can't make songs. Like that don't make no sense.
Hey, some of the best MCs I heard in my life had equal chops. They could make the battle rap and they could make the bop and they could make the backpacker. Is almost they could harness all of those skills. But I've never seen the opposite where the great studio musician or great songwriter was happening to be really good at battles too.
Mhm.
Somebody was going into battles not too long ago that wasn't a traditional battler. I can't remember who it was. They were like an actual. Was it Method Man?
Yeah.
It was somebody like that was trying to go into the battle arena that was just a real, a regular artist.
Shit, I know Joe Budden did it.
But he's from that though.
Yeah, like you never see those people that aren't from that stepping back. Like I haven't seen anybody that's never been in that world just jump in there and make it.
The battle scene is wild though.
Yeah. Some of those funny ones that they do for fun. What's that guy's name? He doesn't say much and everybody goes crazy.
Oh yeah, Super Flame. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be getting carried away.
I'm a cheap. I think I'm a cheap laugh, but that still gets me.
Yeah, no, Super Hot Fire, man. He's
That's what it is. Super hot fire. Yeah.
like 5,000 and oh, man. Still 5,001 and oh or something like
But
that.
that's what it was. Somebody a real battle rapper battled him in a comedy skit. Like somebody stepped into the comedy realm. I think.
I like it. I watched all those too.
All right, well shoot. Well, now that we got the intermediary banter out the way, it looked like High Rise got some actual notes about our topic today. Why don't you Give us your introduction, Mason, since this is your topic.
Oh, I earlier in the day I was thinking about with the new Bully album. He disclaimed that yeah, there's AI on here, and I've been working with the machine and collaborating, and a lot of people are finding out like, yo, he's chopping records that the person that made the original record, they're not gonna sign off on that, and how it'll never come out, and blah blah blah. And my mind was just going into the ideas of AI, and you can't really get rid of it. It's here, but what are consumers and creators' ideas of working with the machine, and consumers, getting product where they know, yeah, the artist was dancing with this, and almost collaborating. Like, does that change the idea of the product or the outcome of the product? Or is it looked at like, oh, people aren't doing it, and the guys that are starting out, they're the innovators, and maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're going to take arrows for stuff that we're going to end up doing later, anyways.
And to expand, the question that you had put in our chat, our group chat, was this album, particularly how it's put together. Does it feel lazy or is it innovative? And is there an actual way to make using AI or as a legitimate tool for musicians in the studio without it coming off as not authentic?
Yeah. So I meditated on that. I have my stance, but if y'all want to go first, it's cool.
Why don't you why don't High Rise go? I want to reserve.
I don't have notes. I don't have notes on that. I'm just working on doodles while I try, I get listening to y'all talk. I like to. It gets me creative, so I doodle or just touch up artworks that I'm currently working on just down here, just so it's an all-encompassing time period for me. But I mean, obviously I have opinions on that too. Like May, I have personal opinions, and I have opinions on how I think things will end up. But I think it's just a gray area, and I don't think I have a yes/no stance on it. I do think it can be used in a helpful way. I do think it can be used in a manipulative, deceitful, lazy way. And I think it's up to the consumer and any sort of artistic watchdog group out there that wants to take it upon themselves to illustrate who is using these technologies. But I think it's up to the consumer to decide where they draw the line, what they think is cheesy, what they think's corny, what they think is helpful, what they think is authentic. I have my own ideas of where that line draws, but I think the important thing is that it is a line, and that people are going to cross it and create their own line and their own boundary, and it's a new medium that will be used artistically, and I think it's up to the person enjoying that art to decide if the AI was helpful or not in this particular, in whatever they're viewing. I didn't listen to the Ye album today, but I'm interested in hearing. Just I've read things about it, and obviously Ye, the way he markets his albums and what he does the days before they're released, that's a whole nother discussion too, outside of AI. Just his behavior, his marketing, the way he markets. But
I like that word you said, decide.
Yeah.
That's where I was driving around. I came to my conclusion of the AI is the new genetically modified organism. It's the bioengineered food ingredient. So the concept of deciding, I I don't mind the fact that MCs and producers are utilizing it as a tool, but I wouldn't be mad if things like that were disclaimed on an album.
Yeah.
Like an advisory, the same way that we go and we shop at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely foods in there that are hybrids, and then there's
Yeah.
foods that are organic, unchanged. And if those things didn't have labels, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that word decide, you should be able to decide and choose what you want. So for those that want organic produce and veggies,
Uh-huh.
you should be able to shop that way with these new music creations.
Yeah.
Well,
Not that if it's hybrid that it can't taste good, because there's junk food that tastes good, but I want people to know the ingredients.
Yeah. I like that. Let me
too.
Let me tap in, push in a little further into that. So right now on social media, there are options when you're posting something to select whether it has any AI generation involved in what you're posting, and it's an option. And really, unless you self-report, there's not a way to know. So
that's how it could be used for deception. If you're dependent on people to do the policing for you, if you're dependent on the company to police for you, and they're not going to do that, then there's some fuckery that you're going to fall victim to. But if these companies have a moral standard, like, yo, we're going to let you know when things are bioengineered, whether or not we put the font big or small, it's on the package. You just got to read it. Even if the font is little, I want it on there.
I'm saying is even for the company.
Yeah.
Kanye doesn't have to tell them.
He doesn't.
He used AI. He was being generous.
I think, do you think younger people are, can I expand a little bit? Like, do you think younger people are checking for Kanye music? Like, I know this album dropped, but like on my timeline, I'm seeing like 30 and older people talk about Bully, but I'm not seeing it. Like, I don't see my kids aren't talking about it.
Oh, I wouldn't expect them to.
Ye's not young anymore.
Well, it goes back to what I said that last episode where his name is not associated with anything young at the moment, as to where in the past the kids were checking up on him because his name was next to these other names that they did know.
Yeah.
And it was a form of vampirism. He was leeching off of that energy in a way.
Like, he done alienated himself.
Yeah,
he don't got that. He don't got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he can't necessarily sustain on his own because that was never his thing from the beginning.
But he wants that.
Yeah. But ever since the beginning, it's always him and his buddies. Like, I've never seen him stand alone. His first album was riddled with interludes and voices and features, and I don't know if he's ever been able to do it alone. And maybe that's where AI comes in, where when everybody's gone, you still have a partner and a homie that you could talk to and work with.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teenagers, they're getting caught up in these AI relationships where you're like talking back to something that's simulating a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
And you send them all your Bitcoin.
Yeah, like it's something being born out of that loneliness and that solitude.
So now you're getting down the road.
Yeah, that's a whole.
That is actual factual right now. So when we're talking about some of this, I think sometimes we jump far into the future and where it could go, but we have actual anecdotal evidence of where it's at right now and how harmful it is. I'll tell you like this. You sent this through the chat this morning. I immediately listened to the album and I actually sat and thought about your questions. I didn't have I didn't say I didn't have a strong opinion before, but I started from the listening to the album as far as just listening through it, how it made me feel. So I'll say this first. We in hip hop need to start drawing the line around what we even take into consideration as a hip hop album. This is an R&B album. This is not a hip hop album. It's not rap.
What would be the criteria?
If Beyonce can argue and fight over having the country album and that it is separate from her regular R&B shit, we need to start doing that. All these motherfuckers. I don't even
honestly think people are calling this a hip hop album. They're just like, Ye dropped Bully. And hip hop people are interested because he's Ye, but I don't think. I mean, yeah, I bet on iTunes it's probably listed in multiple categories.
It's not a rap album. I'm just saying that's the first thing we need to start standing on.
Is Playboy Cardi a rap album? I mean, I hear what you're saying, but that's kind of a question that has been around now for years at this point.
Well, I think that's who has answered the question. I ain't listening to I don't listen into everybody's album. You guys know me. I don't consume music at the level that you guys do. Not even 1% of what you guys consume. But I listened to this today. This whole thing. It's not rap. And I like Kanye. I was a Kanye supporter when the College Dropout dropped.
I kind of think we're post rap.
I guess that's a different discussion.
What elements stuck out to you that made you say that it's not rap or hip hop? What did you keep hearing that?
He wasn't rapping. And it wasn't him. It was the fucking computer that was singing songs. It was him typing into the AI prompt. And I know this because I've used AI. I know how to use text to image, text to audio, text to video. You can't fucking tell me this shit. I have used it.
Hey, go ahead.
Nigga, our fucking album, our single artwork cover is AI from the Tack Heat.
So this is why I brought up the GMO thing, right? Because we eat hybrid vegetables. It ain't to say that it's not edible or that some of them don't taste good. All I'm saying is that we know what a real watermelon tastes like, and we know when.
So it has a proper label.
Yeah.
So I think labeling includes the genre. I think the proper labeling includes the genre, not just AI. You need to label this properly. I don't care who the artist is.
I feel you.
Beyonce fought to have her shit considered a country album. They was trying to disrespect her shit. But that's what it was. It should be properly labeled. Regardless of people want to label it like that or not. If it's a country album, call it country. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
So Kanye's not spitting? There's nobody spitting on here on that album?
No.
I haven't even heard it.
No.
So it's just singing. Because Kanye does have albums.
He fucking typed in the prompt. Look, this is what Josh,
Kanye,
listen.
Kanye often has albums with just singing. So is it just another one of those?
Those ain't rap albums. And we should have called it out back then when he made that very first one. That's what I'm saying.
That's an old question then. Like, Kanye's been doing that for 15 years.
Well, hey, man. I'm calling it out now.
It ain't too late. That's what I'm saying, bro.
It ain't too late. It ain't too late. There wasn't the same level of social media to say this shit as we could.
I mean, that's an old discussion, man. People have been debating the different genre. What is this? Is it trap hip hop? Is it hip hop? Is it? I mean, that's
Well, it's
just
still
think we're
current. I
post. I
said,
think
like I
that's
said,
post.
Beyonce had her
that.
shit like 3 months ago, where that was a whole
I think
argument.
that's a deeper conversation because that has to do with race. Was why people were saying it was a country. That's a whole different level.
So what's the discussion over the years on why all this fucking T-Pain in it is still rap and it's not? Or you say we're post-rap? We're post-rap, like post-apocalypse.
I think we're post like a hardcore definition of rap. Definitely, that line is blurred. 100%. I do think that.
Well, I disagree. If you're fucking singing with auto-tune, you're singing. It's not rap. Like I don't like. There's not really. To me, there's not really a discussion to have. If you're singing, you're singing.
I mean, I hear you technically, but I'm just saying how old that sounds, that you're pushing right there, like that's...
It sounds like someone that knows how to fucking rap and can't sing and wouldn't try to sing because I rap.
A lot of times I don't even think it's up to the artist what they define their genre as. It's just like, are hip-hop kids dancing to this shit? If they are, then the media is like, that's hip-hop.
So that's what I'm saying is now we're leaving it up to the media to make these decisions about the culture that we create and
I do think it's up for anybody to define is kind of my point. I don't think there's a gatekeeper. I don't think there's somebody that is like, this is hip hop, and then all the heads are like, yes it is, no it's not. It is a gray area, and we live in that is where we live.
There that's are where things, y'all live.
Well, that's where the world is.
Well, this brings me to my second point. And listening to this album, exactly what Josh is saying now, I felt like an outsider. I felt like I'm arguing my point because it is my point. But I knew that I would be the outsider. I know all the people. I didn't like the first time Kanye went to the auto-tune when he made after his mom died. He made the I can't remember the name of the album.
Right, Donda.
808s.
The 808s and Heartbreaks, because that was the first one I didn't fucking buy.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was after a breakup.
No, his mom died right around that time, I think, too.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean. Like he was. It's the position that he's in now, where he was trying to usher in a new sound and do things that everybody.
He did that part successfully. That's the part that I can follow. Many artists, like now, it's not even question. You can come out and not really rap. You just sing with auto-tune at a more words per measure than regular singers. You fit more words in your songs. And it's a little rhymey, but you're singing.
So, I'm trying to figure out, do you tell the consumer what your genre is, or does Billboard?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Like at some point it's up to others.
Yeah, some people are getting down on country songs, but I mean, if it has an 808 boom bap beat or something like that, do they think like, oh, this is rap too?
Yeah.
And country, or do they?
I don't know. Yeah.
Weigh out the elements to see what has more. Is it like, oh, there's a ratio of more guitar than drum? Like what is their metrics?
Yeah.
When they're
and the fact that Wicked heard it and felt like an outsider, does that influence his call on what genre it is?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably.
Well, yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say that. My call on the genre is separate from me listening to that this morning. Like, to me, hip hop is rapping over music. Like, that's it. It starts from the music starts from a DJ sampling, whether it's disco songs or old school soul songs. There wasn't a template for the music behind the raps, but it's someone rapping over the music.
So you would say it's an R&B?
It's R&B.
Would you say it's comparable to another R&B, or that it's the first R&B that sounds like that?
Oh yeah, if you didn't tell me it was AI, I would have known it. Listening to it, he typed in the prompt "rap like Kanye" in Spanish. You could hear, I could see him changing up the prompt a little bit. Like I could envision it.
You know, we live in a world. Let me just throw this out there. I totally get what you say, Wicked. Not because obviously, like, I'm a fan of rapping, and I rap, and I love real rapping. And if I'm singing, I'm like, hey, I'm singing. If I'm rapping, I'm like, hey, I'm rapping. But you know, just to see, you know, just to say, like, we do live in a world of hybrids.
I don't disagree with that, man. But I listen to this.
The way that you want things to be defined is more and more difficult.
May, on this album, was there any bars dropped? You tell me. Am I missing something? It was like 45 minutes. I watched this whole fucking wrestling video with the rich kid. I didn't find out later till it was his son. All I knew was this reminds me of the movie The Toy. This is some fucking rich kid whose parents paid for him to wrestle a bunch of people, and he's got this hammer banging him in the head. Like, was there any fucking bars dropped on this album? Please tell me. Did I miss them? Because it sounded like singing the whole time. I didn't hear 116, not one.
Yeah, I think the stuff that wasn't singing was definitely conversation style. You're right. There was no rapping. There wasn't physical exertion. There wasn't work done. But that goes back to my GMO shit. Like, certain things require more work and effort. So I brought up the lazy thing to where it'll still be palatable and edible for masses, regardless of what you call it. But at the end of the day, people will be able to tell the difference between the real fruit and the hybrid fruit.
Well, now, so this is what I think.
So no matter where it is in the fruit section, I'm stuck on that concept of people will know the difference between the stuff with the seeds in it and the stuff without.
I think now. But I think this is him at the beginning of testing this type of thing out, and he is going to be one of the people that perfect the AI because he's got the money, he's got all the tools at his access. He could create a new AI. Like, he's going to be the one that perfects it in the music genre to where you can't tell. If he didn't tell you, you won't know. Now on this project, you can tell. I mean, it's literally him singing in Spanish with the computer. Like, it's the computer Kanye singing in Spanish.
I heard it immediate. I was thinking about prompts too, how, like you said, it's what you put into it. So that's the only way I guess I could support it, is based on how creative your prompt is.
Well, he's going to be a master. I think he's gone down this road.
He needs more input to get the output. Because right now the input is vague.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Because, I mean, I thought about like 6 different movies when I watched this. Throughout the 45 minutes of watching it. It took me, I thought about The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Yep. Classic.
Like, come on, he's hammering these fucking wrestlers in the nuts. He did it enough times to where they had to blur that part out because it was clearly him hitting these grown men in the nuts that are getting paid to be buffoons for Kanye West.
I thought of it way deeper, and I don't know if I should have. But I know he was saying like how that son of his is a bully. Like, he told his dad he's a bully. But when I read it. But when I watched it, what hit me was
he's not a bully.
Whack-a-mole thing. Like, I looked at all those people that were jumping in the ring, like the companies and like the sponsors, and I looked at that ring as like that kid in the midst of all that stuff. Everybody's trying to monetize off these children and how it's almost whack-a-mole. Like you're trying to remain independent. That's at least what his dad wants for all of his kids. He wants them to remain independent and not sign. And I pictured all those wrestlers as being like the Hulus and the McDonald's, Disney.
Now that would be a good lesson if that
Put
was
like
his,
corporate
hey,
faces on all those wrestlers.
I like that interpretation. I could
That's
rock
what-
with that. I could rock with that.
That might be just what I want, but I pictured that as being like whack-a-mole for all the bullshit that's gonna pop up in their lives.
But look, come on, man. You're putting your son's face as the album cover. You're putting him as the video of the whole album.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting the story out behind it that your son told you he's a bully because he kicked another boy that he said was weak. And everyone with their own eyes can watch this video and movie and decide for themselves, does this boy look like a bully or does he look like his dad is a billionaire and other kids ain't going to touch him because they going to get fucked up on the legal side and they're smart enough not to do that. He don't look like a bully. He looked like a punk. And I don't want to speak on kids like that, but he was hitting these grown men in the nuts with the hammer and they was blurring it out. Like,
you right.
I don't know what else to say. They clearly blurred those shots out. He was hitting them in the nuts. And there was like 15 wrestlers. Dudes that was real wrestlers wearing their real wrestling masks or some without masks on. They got paid. But I just thought about it like, man, these dudes, the world is really about money. To where all these dudes is willing to take that money to go on there and be, like I said, I just thought about the toy with Richard Pryor. Like after that week or something, this motherfucker was like, fuck no. I'm done with this shit.
That's deep.
This little fucking rich ass, punk ass kid treating me like I'm a toy. Literally.
Movie, man.
But now we got a ring of wrestling motherfuckers, and Hype Williams should be goddamn ashamed of himself for this video. This is the worst Hype Williams video ever. I said it on record.
That's a Hype Williams?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe like a 5-minute video tops, just slowed down, I guess.
Well, it was 45 minutes total.
So what is this? What do you guys?
I'm just saying you could
that's
shoot
a new
that
Kanye video.
Yeah, you could shoot it in real time and then just play it at a certain speed.
I know, but it was more than 5 minutes. Cause I'm just thinking on 5 minutes at 2 times speed would be a 10-minute video. 5 minutes at 4 times speed would be a 20-minute video. Or not 4 times, a quarter speed. So to get it to be 45 minutes, it'd have been going extra slow. I think it was probably about 10 minutes of footage and maybe slowed down about 25%.
Did it look like it was looping at all?
You know what? I might have took my eye off of it and maybe it did loop, but you know, I think that's what he paid Hype Williams for. To where this is not the loop. Yeah, because there was points where all the wrestlers went out the ring and there was only one left, and then they all came back again, and then there was one left again, and then they came back again.
Yeah, my son was thinking it's different camera angles. It's all the same footage, but it's different angles being shown.
Well, I'll tell you this, as a artwork, it definitely did its job in stirring up an emotion in the viewer. Me as the viewer and the listener, so it did its job in that respect. But yeah, from the AI, you know, I just kept thinking about different videos, man, or different movies. Like, it made me think about that movie Don't Look Up with the girl from the Hunger Games, to where they discovered the comet that's coming at Earth.
Yeah.
But motherfuckers didn't want to believe him at first. Then they did believe him and said, oh, you know what? The comet's got gold and diamonds and shit in it. So instead of just blowing this shit up so it doesn't hit Earth, we're going to send a team to try to get the gold and diamonds off of it. And then Terminator. It definitely makes me feel like we're at Cyberdyne Networks because of the acceptance of the population to the point where we all are like, oh, AI is here. It's, we're going to either have to deal with it or not. Like,
yeah, that's back to my GMO thing, where when it was unveiled and shared with the nations, like nobody, I mean, on a grand scale, it got embraced. They made more stuff, different versions of the same stuff, and it was openly accepted. So whether it tasted good, whether it was good for you, didn't matter. It was the fact that it existed. And now there's these other things on the shelves that you're in competition with. So a lot of people had brand membership for these things lifelong, like I always buy this. And then they started seeing something next to it that looked like it, but it wasn't. Some of them try that and they move over. Some people buy both.
But to Wicked's point, some countries outright ban. But to Wicked, some countries do outright ban that shit.
Yeah,
and the people can collectively make a choice. So
are we gonna do that as hip hop?
Right. I think kind of that's what he's asking more in the bottom line. I think that's Wicked's bottom line.
Well, when it comes to the AI shit, man, I think we should be thinking about it much more in depth than just music and hip hop and the direction that we're going. It's a literal arms race right now on who can get to general intelligence. Right now we're at inference and all these different models, but it's not to the point of general intelligence. But they're racing to get there. And I just think we're going the wrong direction. Like, we shouldn't be focusing on this. Because, yes, things can be beneficial, but I think the cons outweigh the pros. Everyone thinks that this is just going to make everything so much easier in life. Like, all the robots will just do all the work for us and we can just sit at home and watch Netflix. But I just don't think it's going to turn out in that manner. And I guess I feel like we're looking to bypass the possible cons and just jump to the pros, which, I mean, I just don't see it as a beneficial direction. But I mean, my decision, my outlook isn't changing countries and companies. OpenAI is trying to be $1 trillion company. There's motherfuckers that got billions of dollars put into that. Like, I believe in this. I want this to go. So I think it's a bad move for us as humanity. It's gonna draw us closer to the Matrix conclusion. This is literally the beginning of the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more Matrix than Terminator because it's the AI. We got the AI to help us and help humanity. What the term is, humanity got to a zenith or something. We got all the free time that we want. Everyone can just work on the artwork and being with your family and loved ones up until a certain point where
they're intertwined. Those movies.
Well, because they're both trying to tell us something and we're not listening.
Well, because they're written by the same black woman. The Matrix,
that part too.
Yeah, The Matrix and the Terminator was written by the same black woman. Her story was later on changed up, but her initial story was that those are part of the same storyline.
Yeah.
True.
So I mean, I just feel like, I feel like I'm in the world I feel like I'm in the Matrix, but I know I'm in the Matrix, but everyone else don't understand and believe it, and they're just living life. Or what's the movie with the wrestler, Rowdy Rodder Piper, where
they live.
Yeah, where he had on the glasses and it was like bye, consume or something like that. It was wild. Well, hey, I think we're running up on the perfect halftime break. Before we cut, do you guys want to do records first or come after break to the records?
What do you mean?
I gotta go grab one.
Okay, then we'll do it after break.
Then we'll do it after break.
All right, y'all.
Just so you guys know, when I get back on, I'll be in the whip. I gotta go pick up my young man over there at his grandma's. So it's out the farm. So you guys will be hightailing it with me.
Man, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be audience members that enjoy that Riceburg view the most. Oh, I like when he's driving in the car.
All right, well, I'll catch you guys in a little bit.
All right, halftime. We got 11 minutes of heater.
Let me show you what I'm working on real quick. Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Let me find this really quick here. I haven't added the details. I'm about to do the famous pigeon dunk.
No way.
You can see it starting to come alive.
Oh my. Yeah.
All right. We're breaking the halftime. 11 minutes. We'll be back. Hit the share button so they can hear it. Yeah.
Hennessy and exotic cannabis. You feel me? Sponsored. Build and destroy. We make noise. Praises due, we the gods.
Eat tree.
Made it through cause we beat the odds.
Yeah.
All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds.
And if that ain't the truth, then I have a bridge to sell you. The booth is the proverbial shrink couch. The esoteric think tank is what the briefing's about. I'm as deep as the frequencies that the speakers vouch. In the event that the brainstorm receives the drought, regulate your hormones before you leave the house. I'm landing the upper echelon region clout. Respectable crafts, a reason heathens doubt. My testicles dragged to the street Enrica style, but I never drop the ball in moments needed now. The mechanical mind is guilty of diaspora. Walk afflicted with peace or reviving violent order. I'm sure fire with vibes is filled with silent aura. Mental shrine restorer, different than you kinda sorta. I don't deal with confinement, I'm still inclining via psilocybin. I still to deal with something real and vibrant.
We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds. We made it through cause we beat the odds. Hey, we made it through cause we beat the odds.
Hey.
All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods.
My mind at ease, cause I move with the cheese. Sitting with my belly full, them people ain't pleased. They gazed when they placed me in the maze. Mad cause I came out the rat race unfazed. They want me dazed and confused, weak and abused, making up excuses why I always lose. Dad wasn't here, so this is my fear. I'm a failure like him, pass it all through all these years. Nah, here's the thing, I'm a king, you ain't stopping. Keep it moving, A-wall, get it popping. Gatekeeper, jaw dropping, I'm never flopping. You damn right, this nigga outsmart them. All praises due, cause we made it through. As the saying goes, mama ain't raised no fool to show what I'm made of. I'm anxious, flexing on the ages in the matrix. They hate this.
All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due, we the gods. We made it through cause we beat the odds. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due, we the gods. All praises due, we the gods. We made it
motherfucking beat. This intro to the beat. It's hella hard to catch. It's my time to rap. It's coming up soon.
Here we go.
We bang, cause America's gang. We bang, cause America's gang.
Yeah.
We bang, cause America's gang. America's gang, America's gang.
Yeah.
We bang, cause America's gang. We bang, cause America's gang. We bang, cause America's gang. America's gang, America's gang. Beneficial since it's beneficial. The pen is fickle, the interest is hidden in the temples. In the past I was battle-minded and flipping insults. Fragile times, don't forget conflictions, forbidden info. I'm castle building with the class of children, sticking out rather than blending in with mass civilians. Outmatched by the feelings of disastrous villains. Doubt had me in shackles, needing an act for healing. I'm grounded but I give dap to the ceiling. A host of parasites in a manufactured pavilion. Being daft is attractive fulfillment. You're being brash while I'm actually chilling. I personify verses beyond your eyes. The philosophical prophet is optimized. You compromise the earth like 5G. Why me? I'm in a state of mind the rhymes feed. Yeah. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. America's a gang, America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. America's a gang, America's a gang. The devil ain't on his way, he's already here. Our worst fear, our leaders are prophets, are hunted down like deer. It's a killing field, it's a killing season. It's a simple reason they don't want us here. It's have-nots will always rise up, that's clear. Rich kids will always mimic us. Oh dear, a devil's worst fear. I can sell some fire to the devil, say our freedom for all. To a southern rebel, they ain't on a level, slow it down a notch. Playing with these devils, chalk lines, hopscotch. Staying with these troubles, the rock lies us in the box. Jail cells and sidewalks, we stuck
On a block.
Slow it down, roll it back is what they say. The game is set up for us to fail in every single way. And so you pray, but you can't hide when evil calls your name. Say yourself, America is a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. America's a gang, America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang. We bang, cause America's a gang.
Guess that didn't show up today.
America's a gang.
Touching down with impact, on contact, booming deep with my crew, cause we's about that. Sorry about your broken door, we here for the contract. So come on now, million times us and provide that. Abdicate some of that power with no slide back. And keep it all civil, there won't be no combat. But if you wanna bring the heat, then cool, we got that. Only cause you clap first, this the clap back. And when these things go burst, rat-a-tat-a-tat-tat. I'm from the backpack, my soldiers stay strapped. We only came here for the big payback. They kidnapped us, backlashed us, straight strapped us, low down, dirty bastards. Now I'm the one here with the rope for the hanging, doing our thing. American gang banging, so feel the pain of a 500-year thunderous stain of black rain here. And when we on the attack with intensity, you know they're gonna feel the stain from you and from me. And so let me explain. I got about 1 million ways to pull out my list and read every name of a fallen brother, sister that's been slain. Just a moment of silence. Now hold up for a second and let me refrain. It all adds up to a goddamn shame. Fuck the Constitution until it gets rewritten through a revolution. Fuck the Constitution until it gets rewritten through a revolution. Fuck the Constitution until it gets rewritten through a revolution. Fuck the Constitution until it gets rewritten through a revolution.
What we need. 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 What we need.
I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one.
If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one.
On my woo, cash rules everything around me. Money over bitches, pop said that's MOB. I'm still trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It's hard to be legit and stack monumental dead presidents. Mount Rushmore cash flow. I take some green, buy some packs of green, turn that green into more green. Now I'm a green machine, hooking on these jugs. You won't like me when I'm angry. Beast mode in this concrete jungle. Not a nail, not a can stop, top or burst my bubble, rubble. Can burglar flow. I got these happy meals. Thank you, drive through. It's time to roll, it's time to go, it's time to hit the dough, it's time to let them know it's still. Fuck the popo, I'm going movie low, go for that De Niro. Scratch skrilla way too narrow. 6 inch comes in 2020.
6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one.
95 with the 401k shit. Still stack aluminum cans in the basement. Be patient, wait till the price rise. Catch the motherfuckers in at the right time. It's basic. Buy low, sell high, accumulate paper. Bank statement showing interest. Facebook ads build interest for your business. Services artistic, craftsmanship exquisite. Blasphemous to those that act religious. Bad in this bitch. Pay homage and pennies. We ain't mad at that. If you buy a ski mask and a new album, plastic wrap for 20. But that was 2019, now it's to 2020, so 25 please. And Gracias plus posthumous projects released like Tupacalypse. When it drop, reach into your pocket.
I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 incomes, can't get rich with one.
6 incomes, can't get rich for one. If you ain't making enough to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't making enough to get it, you ain't making none. 6 incomes, can't get rich for one. 6 incomes, can't get rich for one. Stop the share on the screen and bring the folks back. Well, before we share the albums, I just want to...
Oh, can I ask I thought of a question before you guys share albums that it got me interested in your opinion. Who would you say is the first post-hip-hop artist? Kanye? Is that your vote? Wicked, you just happen to have it up there?
I don't know. You just the post Kanye term or post hip hop term is new for me today.
You know, the first artist
Andre.
that blurred that line, that people were like, "Is this R&B? Is this hip hop? Is this some new shit? Is it a mumbly? Is it a rap? Who first confused those lines?"
Andre.
I like that.
3000.
And extrapolate, because he didn't really he did, because he did sing on that speaker box. Is that you think he did it?
And Love Below.
For me, it was the visual
That's right.
too. Just the way that he was dressing, the physical or the visual aesthetic. He was making you eat that different look and eat that obscurity within hip hop. Like he was rocking the skirts and all that, and showing up in like space alien suits and all kind of shit. Like The whole
Yeah.
filter thing was to prime you for things that were going to be different than you were used to.
As far as being different, he was definitely maybe the first beloved MC that was like, yeah, I'm wearing knitted pants, but you still know I'm dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's a good take. That's good to credit him with that too.
Or people like CeeLo, like a few of those guys.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
CeeLo's saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they were busting ass,
Good
rapping,
point.
but they were still giving you those flavors.
I think it has something to do, now that you say that, with the South, with their mix of maybe, you know, church and gospel and singing, how that was natural for them.
Absolutely.
All right, carry on.
Well, hey, man, I don't really have a suggestion for that. But as far as music-wise, yeah, I would agree that the Andre, it was unexpected. You know, visually and styling, yeah, he was out there, but I don't think people expected that Love Below to be all singing except for the last song.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't
Hey,
run on
yeah.
that here.
The Hey Ya, I want to say Bombs Over Baghdad and Hey Ya. Those two, like,
Yeah.
they just blew it up.
That's a
Well,
good
Bombs
call.
Over Baghdad was rapping.
It was, but it had an aesthetic of, there was some non-hip hop things in it that made it very, you know, diverse, and they were rapping, but I see why May says that might be their first single where they were like, look, we're being different.
They said they said when they were in the room that when they played it that the room lit up. So they knew collectively that they're like, this is something new. This is something unheard yet.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, even they were shocked by it wasn't familiar. They're looking at it like a Frankenstein, like, what did we just make?
It was very outer space sounding when I first heard it, I must admit.
Even BPM wise, like, we weren't doing that with the beat. Our beats.
To me, that was the thing that got me the most, was the tempo.
Yeah, there was a happy place as far as hip hop and beats per minute, and to stray outside of that, like, that was considered like experimental, because he was going against the natural rhythm that everybody's vibing to.
I know, I hated it in like '92 when hip hop just permanently got slowed down.
Yeah.
But you hear some shit in 1988, you can't help but fucking wiggle your ass when you're listening to it. It's so dancey.
Right. Yeah.
I miss that. So that's why I chose to rap over that fast Pete Rock beat I sent you guys.
To me, it still comes down to, are you rapping or are you singing? Andre 3000 was singing on The Love Below. Bombs Over Baghdad, he was spitting. Like, that's one of my favorite songs. And the video was fire. Dave Meyers directed that joint. He did all of Missy Elliott's videos, so he's the top tier on video direction. But they were spitting flames on that song. Like,
yeah, that's still a hip hop song for sure.
I don't care what type of beat you put behind. If someone is spitting, if it's a church beat, if it's a country beat, if it's a cappella, if it's Sebastian Bach or Beethoven, if a motherfucker is spitting on that shit, it's rap. That's rap. That's hip hop.
I feel that.
Me too. But that song crossed them over.
Yeah, like Rosberg said, like, they had that chorus in the background.
There was other elements.
Yeah, they had the gospel choir. The gospel.
Yeah, they're rapping, but yeah, they're doing, that's a fucking house beat almost.
No, like, that's one of my favorite songs. For real. Like, I love that song.
Me too. Shout out Outkast.
And Ghetto Music. They have that same kind of formula on Ghetto Music with the they didn't use the gospel choir, but it was layered up vocals on the hook. So yeah, man, I love Outkast. I like Kanye too. Like I like his early stuff. I like him as a rap artist. I don't like him as an AI manipulator or R&B artist. You guys can have him. You guys can have that.
Kanye to me is like he has released a lot of music. You know, whereas Outkast they did, but they did stop at some point. And you know, at some point it's like I gotta weigh Outkast or Kanye's music and how much of it do I like versus how much of it do I not like. And I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, I like Kanye's early stuff. I do too, but I honestly don't know how much of the late stuff I'm willing to say I like. It's here and there for me. Cause
he's doing too much. That's not just rapping. It's too much.
At this point, there's more post Kanye dope stuff than there is those first. I don't know how some people want to say those first 6 albums, 3 albums. To me, it's 2. Everything after the first 2 albums, to me, went downhill. To me,
after the first 2,
for Ye.
Nah,
the first 2,
I can't rock with you on that.
Oh,
I don't like the third one as much as the first 1 or 2. I don't even like the second one as much as the first one, honestly. But I'll still say the second one's okay. And there's songs I like on other ones, but as a whole,
nah, I can't rock with you on that. The first three were pre-planned out. It's a concept 3 album trilogy. The college dropout, the late registration, and the graduation. He had that shit pre-planned out.
I'll pass on it. I'm good on the graduation. The whole with the Jamie Foxx, like it was just already cheese balls to me. That shit was not dope. It was just commercial production.
You don't like?
It didn't hit me. It wasn't for me.
You don't like Pablo or Dark Twisted Fantasy or?
There's some songs I like on there, but not on a whole. I don't not on a whole.
So I couldn't find my Pablo CD, but like out of the first 6 albums that he dropped, I got 5. I didn't get the 808s and Heartbreaks because I'm not fucking with that. Like if I want to hear singing, then I will buy a singing album or turn my Pandora to a singer that I want to listen to. Like, I'm not against R&B music. Please don't think that. I have Prince radio. I've got Shalimar radio. I got Jackson 5 radio. I fuck with R&B. I love that. But I'm not tuning in to Kanye to listen to R&B.
Me neither.
Yeah, you're saying it's just getting miscategorized.
That was my point. It's the labels. You're not putting the GMO label on your product.
I feel it.
But I enjoyed the first trilogy. I mean, I was invested. I think that was one of my other topics that I wanted to speak on as far as the AI and just or music in general is I think sometimes as fans of artists, we get overly invested in them and don't want to call a spade a spade. When someone drops something that's a dud, we don't want to say it's a dud because we like that artist. And I think that's a big problem. Like we got it's such a problem that there's names for it. There's the Beehive. There's the Swifties. There's, it's called the ride or die fans that no matter if you drop a boo-boo record, they're still going to rock with it. And that to me is called cognitive dissonance.
Yeah. I agree. You gotta be honest with yourself and allow yourself to say, nah, not feeling this one. I might have liked the first 4, but it's okay to say, that 5th one's not for me.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, I think, we're at a stage. We're at a stage at this point in just culture to where people are so tribal. They're committed to an artist or to a political party or to whatever. They're so committed to something, they don't want to just give the honest, objective opinion because they can't. Like, they're too sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their ego is tied to their likes.
Which I can understand, but I mean,
Me too.
I understand it to a degree, but it's like, I don't know. I think it gets overboard. Like, my personality is not dictated by what Kanye West does, or Beyonce does, or Taylor Swift does, or whoever is the other next person up that has this major rabid fan base. I'm going to give you an objective opinion based on my thought process, as objective as it can be, because again, it still is subjective. Because I was a huge Kanye fan. Like, the College Dropout, like, that series of CDs was so important to me, especially as a rapper. Like, when that dropped in 2004, I actually dropped out of college. I was a college dropout. I felt a lot of the shit that he was saying in that first record and the second record and the third record. Like, I felt it deep, but not enough to say that Kanye is my spirit animal, and if you talk bad about him, then you're talking bad about me. Like, I'm still me. Like, shit, if this motherfucker's out here fucking up, like, hey, say what you want about him. But those records, they did impact me as a person and as an artist, and I gotta give respect to that. But that doesn't mean that everything you drop, I'm gonna be on your nuts about. No, it's not how it goes. You drop some shit that I don't like the auto-tune, I did not like from the start. I did not like it. It is not pleasing to my ears. And I think that might be...
I agree. I remember... Yeah, I agree. I remember when auto-tune was something T-Pain did, and all of a sudden then it was something... And then all of a sudden Kanye was some Kanye did, and then all of a sudden it was just everywhere in hip-hop. And yeah, that sucked. That was a sucky time.
Well, I'm just saying too, also, I think that might be somewhat generational based on how people listen to music also. So we are overly technical in the music as far as you got fucking iPods or Beats by Dre earbuds, or what's the Ray J one, the Ray something earbuds, to where they're supposed to try to reproduce this full spectrum of sound right in your ear, and it's just not possible. You're trying to reproduce a deep bass that usually resonates from a physical speaker that is large enough to produce the low end sound, and you're trying to do that from electronics in your earlobe. And I think this next generation or two generations of folks that grew up on the audio in that format, to where they can't perceive certain things that we can in the audio, because they're used to the technical, the software based, engineered based sound quality. It's engineered to come out of this little small earpiece to try to give you all the parameters. Where us growing up, hip hop was started off as a sound system. Motherfuckers would actually build their own speakers and connect it up to their own sound system, so you could hear the not only hear it, you can feel the vibration in the air, in your body, because the beat is slapping that hard. You can't do that with headphones or through the iPhone speaker or through your computer speaker. It's just not possible. And I think this generation and then
That's
one's
true.
coming,
Everything is more insular. That's a good point. All entertainment is consumed like that now. You're right. That's weird. Very few stuff is like a communal experience. Everybody's watching their own tiny screen or listening to their own tiny earbud.
Yeah, a lot of film directors and producers hate that people aren't going to the theaters to watch movies. They're like, yo, we made this for the big screen and the big speakers. And I feel like albums are that same way.
Yeah.
Play that shit in the house speakers and the big speaks.
or in a whip with some slaps.
For real.
Yeah. Do both.
Yes.
I like both because I'll put something on the headphones and hear something that I don't hear, but then you want to crack that shit out on your big system sometime.
Yeah.
Well, the live show is still active, especially these legacy artists. So, shit. I'm about to go. Technically, I got an extra ticket for this. What is it? West Coast Legends, something. I can't remember the exact name of the concert, but it's April 6th. So it is a Sunday. So we're going to be having to do our show either early in the morning or afternoon or that Saturday before pre-record. But if anyone's trying to come out to see, let me see who's on there. I know it's E40.
Man, I would go, but I know I'm doing the spring break trip with the fam already off top. I'm outro. I already know. I'm out of 10.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario is I slang that extra ticket and it goes towards a hotel room for me to kick it. So you're ready to share your record. What is that you got? I see something Simplicity Simpson.
Boom, Guilty Simpson and Fat Cat. Yo, I went to a Jay Dilla tribute show some years back. All of Jay Dilla's homies were there. Guilty Simpson, Fat Cat, Black Milk. This box contains instrumental records that Jay Dilla made, a cassette tape, and a floppy.
Oh, wow.
This is the floppy that Jay Dilla had in his studio.
What the fuck?
I love this thing. I met all those guys. They're all good guys. They rep for the Detroit. They rep for Detroit. All ferocious spitters, good personalities, friendly people. Like, shouts to them, man. And
yeah,
I'll always hold that to my heart. There was a few of those. I bought a T-shirt and I bought one of those. There wasn't a lot of those left, but that was an instant cop when I seen that. That went straight to their estate, Jay Dilla estate.
That was a fire product and packaging like that. the box that looks like the MPC, like that is hard.
Yeah, that's a model of the SP1200 that he used. So it has all the SP1200 marks and wear marks, and yeah, it's just beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, I can fuck with that, and I don't even make beats.
That's true collector's item. That's a true collector's item there.
I think it has 6. There's 6 8-inch, and when you put them all together, it makes his face.
Oh shit!
So
you guys gotta link up one of these days and do that.
You said you got one of 6?
Well, no, that box contains records.
Oh, okay, the 6 records.
Okay.
So when you put them all together, it makes a face. It is ridiculous. So it's almost like a puzzle. These are pictures of his face. But you
Okay.
put it together and it makes a black and white picture of his face. Very cool.
No, that's just fire.
Shouts to Dilla, man, and shouts to Detroit. I got to meet those cats. And shouts to Black Milk. And shouts to 88 Keys for hitting me up on Instagram. I'm glad you found that piece that you were looking for. 88 Keys was gonna purchase something from me, but he ended up finding it before he got back to me. So a Kai sequencer.
See that? Look, when you sent that, all I could think of, like I sent it back in the chat. The Eastsiders. Let's bang,
Oh, right.
let's bang. Dolly is active. Like that popped into my head immediately as like just a Dolly is active. He's out here.
Shout out to Cormega. Cormega. I remember I messaged Cormega, showed him some love, and he responded back. Shouts to Brother Lynch. Anybody that I've reached out to on a social media level that's responded back, shouts to you guys. I don't know what the luck is, but every time I reach out, I get that response back, you know? So
Hey, that's big stuff. I mean, not only it shows that those artists are accessible, but I'm sure they don't tap back to every single person that sends them a message or something. So it also speaks to
understand the
your
mutual
shit.
connections. The mutual connections mean a lot in just the business and even the social media business. Like who you share friends with says a lot. Mutual connections that you have online say a lot. Sometimes that's why I brought up that 6 degrees of separation stuff. Because you're not that far removed from people that are above and beyond what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm on the degrees. I don't have I ain't got no direct connects. Don't ask me for no connects.
I know the world is small in that way.
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with putting yourself out there too. I think
I guess I just learned a lot from tagging. You have to tag things.
Yeah.
And that's almost like your little signature, your footprint. And I think I was able to make a little genre that way on SoundCloud once I realized, if I keep tagging this over time, once they look that up, I'm going to be the thing that embodies that phrase or that term. So I've been making stuff and cataloging it. I always call it organic ritual. And on SoundCloud, that's one of my genres, I say, is organic ritual.
And that shit comes up.
Yeah, I was like, man, you could do that on Instagram too. These tags and how you do it, people will look it up that way too. Just search words.
Nah, that's the Build and Destroy. I be trying to make sure I put that on all the, hashtag it on all the little posts that I make, even if it ain't got nothing to do with us. What I was doing a few weeks back was getting into the dance videos and shit. So I'll find a dance video, people breakdancing and shit, do the remix, figure out which Build and Destroy song would go on top of it. Or I was using your breakthrough on quite a few. I can't remember the name of the song. It's the last song on the album though, the good one, the one that
Wake Up.
Yeah, the Wake Up. I used a couple other ones too, but that one has because the dancing videos, the tempo that you have to get to kind of match up with the dance moves, be faster.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, that's why I'm kind of stuck in the realm of the certain songs that I can even use from our catalog, because it was like Josh was saying, like joints from the 80s was more on that different BPM. Yeah, and that's what the breakers be still on. They be on that higher BPM.
Yes.
So it's like how, what's good is the Instagram has got AI built in to where it kind of helps you match up with the dance steps. But you got to pick the right.
Wicked, what's your record?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So I busted. I brought out two. Only because you asked about the local one last week.
Yeah.
So my first one is the Bullworth.
Bullworth, the soundtrack.
I really busted this out because after I was thinking, I listened to the Kanye joint and I was like, man, this is just reminding me of a bunch of movies. And I wasn't intentionally digging for this, but I'm going through my records, and this popped up as a soundtrack joint, and it made sense because the movie itself too, it kind of taps into the satirical world, kind of like the movie Don't Look Up. Like it taps into satirical politics and how kind of the world can be easily fooled. So I thought that matched right up with the AI aspect. Like, we're easily fooled. And this got, like, this is a hip-hop soundtrack. Like, there ain't no singing on it. Matter of fact, the only singing on this joint is fucking on the first song, LL Cool J singing in his first verse.
Which one?
It's called Zoom. Dr. Dre and LL Cool J. It's the first song on the soundtrack. There's a video for it and all that. I watched the video today. Like, I was going through this album just to make sure. There's a few videos. This, the lead single for this is the Ghetto Superstar, ODB, Praz, and Maya.
Yeah, what's the year on that joint?
98. Interscope Records. And look, this is funny because it's a political album, but then it's got the Rock the Vote stamp on the back. And it's an album, but it's makes reference to CDs for this statement. It says, this CD will not shape the future. It will not determine how clean or dirty your air and water should be. It will not make your chances of getting a job better or worse. It will not write or sign any legislation that will affect your life. Yet, you probably spent more time and effort choosing this CD than you spend choosing the people who do all of those other things. Think about it. You don't let other people choose your music. Why let them choose your future? Register to vote. Call 1-800-CALL-RTV and rockthevote.org. Wow.
A viable reference in a CD.
And then below that it says visit us on the internet. Interscoperecords.com and foxinc.com. So in 98, like this was early internet. Like,
yeah, they was programming.
They was ready.
Yeah, they was getting you ready for that shift.
So yeah, my second one,
a total example of hybrid, where things were moving and shifting.
Yeah,
they're like, we ain't gonna stop, but stay tuned for this too.
Nah, that's for real.
Because vinyl sales have always, they're always in the headlines for like, oh my God, they're selling more than they ever have. That's happened a few times. Where we keep breaking records over and over on vinyl sales in the midst of the digital revolution.
Yeah, because there's more people out there. That is what I was saying before. You can't listen to a record with AirPods in. because record players don't connect Bluetooth headphones. Now you can use regular wired headphones, but those are made. Headphones have been engineered over years and years and years to reproduce the richness of the sound as best as possible. The earbuds is, I mean, it's like a 9 or 10-year-old industry. It's relatively new, and I don't think really they're ever going to be able to reproduce it at the same level. Because like I said, headphones is still it's still away from where you want it to be. You want it to be playing out of the speakers to where the sounds are vibrating the air around you and your environment. They're bouncing off the walls and you're hearing the acoustics, and that's what it's meant for. It's not meant to be locked into your head and you listening to it solo. Like, art is not meant to be consumed in that manner. Like, you can't hide the painting to where only you can see it. If the painting is displayed, anyone that can see it can see the painting. Now, how close you get, will determine the view that you get. But there's no way. I mean, I guess that's just the new where we're at, is you keep shit and hide it. But anyone can go to, the Louvre or all these museums and see these old paintings in person. They are very delicate and expensive pieces of art, but everyone technically has equal access to them. You got to buy your ticket. You got to get on the plane and go over there and then buy a ticket to the museum, but you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this just made me think of another. When I was thinking about the Kanye and the AI, and when you said, is it just laziness? I equivocated. This made me think about the banana taped to the wall. Is that art?
Yeah. The MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art. There's people that are like, yo, I'm not rocking with shit that's inside of that building, because they be bugging out. They'll just throw like a gold toilet up in there and say that's a masterpiece. There's people that are revolting against shit like that, man. There's a thin line between what's art and what is. It reminds me of almost like shock jocking in the art world.
That's exactly what I was thinking about Kanye today.
The audacity is what it is.
I'm saying he figured it out. I think this is the realm that he wants to remain in, is the shock jock aspect. He's using the swastika and shit. And I think that this is just the realm that he's decided to inhabit. But he knows how to operate in that realm, because the things that he does is shocking. Come on, man. He had his girl pull off all her clothes at the red carpet and just stand there butt naked. Like, there's no other purpose in that except to shock people. Like, that is the sole purpose. There's not an actual deeper meaning behind it. How you were saying, oh, the hammer, he's whack-a-moling all the different people coming at him, teaching his kids not to fall for, the capitalist structure and the industries that are going to try to use him. Like, that sounds good. But when some of the things he does is not that. It's just, I'm going to create a scene and people are going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to help promote whatever project I'm working on. Even if it's bad press, it's people are talking mess about me. Like, he doesn't care. He just figured it out, and he likes to just feels like stay in that realm of being the shock jock artist. No, that's exactly what I thought about too.
Yeah, they do that in the art world for sure. Really audacity-driven things. And
which I think, I mean, I think it was. I think he did take a risk. I think he
mean,
did take a risk.
too. I feel like I may like what Lupe's doing more than what Ye is doing with it, but I understand. Um, just wildly enough, both of them being from Chicago, and Chicago being like a smart. Chicago has always been like a smart city in a sense, as far as like security and surveillance and AI and fiber optics. It just
It
I've been
makes
thinking
sense
a
that
lot
they would
about
be rocking with the new age shit. It makes
they're
sense.
almost programmed to do that just by nature is to lead. And Lupe's first album, he talked about the robot. Like he described the streets as the robot. And I'm walking around with my robot. And those guys have always just been preoccupied with what's next. And I think that's part of their cancellation anyways, is they may be doing shit that people are gonna do eventually, but right now they're the only ones doing it. Like that nigga said, like if I'm running down the highway in some short shorts and no shirt, they're gonna think I'm crazy. But if 100 people are doing it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, they running a marathon." Like I get that kind of idea. Like niggas gonna be looking buck wild until 8 million other people are doing it.
So
And then
this is my this.
thing.
That's where I'm at the crossroads, because he's already surpassed the person doing it by himself. Now he's doing it with 8 million people. But are you still not looking foolish because there's not an actual marathon that's been scheduled? Don't none of you guys have numbers on. You guys didn't even start from the same place, and you don't know where you're going. There's not a route. There's not a map. The streets aren't blocked off. You just have that rabbit of a fan base to where you can corral that many people to follow you, and they're all going to wear short shorts and no shirt because you told them to. That doesn't make it not crazy no more because people are following you. It means all y'all motherfuckers is crazy. And I'm going to be there with my camera to film it. And I'm going to interview you guys and ask you, why the fuck are you running down the street right now in booty shorts with no shirt on?
Yeah, people just got to watch those cult documentaries. Get their little cult chops up.
That's for real. I think that I think is probably something that we should be learning like in school. How to recognize and understand like mind manipulation, because as this AI comes on, we're going to get more of it. Like we're going to have more people. It's like a brute force attack on a computer. There's going to be more. There's more vectors right now for them to attack you at, whether it's just TikTok videos. Like their algorithm can control what you see, and if it sends you down this fucking flat earth rabbit hole, and for some reason there's enough videos in there to like once you get on the flat earth shit, you got sucked in. And there's enough people that have gotten sucked in that are critical thinkers and intelligent individuals, but there is a way to manipulate your mind. It's factual. This isn't new. This is 2025. They've been doing this shit for over 100 years. In 1925, they were manipulating soldiers with different drugs. I mean, the whole point, this is some Nazi shit. They was using meth to boost their soldiers up to where they could fight for 24 hours straight. And the other people couldn't do that. That's what the blitzkrieg is. The term blitz comes from that in football. To blitz, the term comes from Nazi Germany. These motherfuckers being high off meth and running ambushes on other troops that had to sleep. But we don't have to sleep because we got meth. And also mind control strategy. Like, man, it's nothing new. It really isn't. But we're at the point where we kind of forget, I think, the past. So we fall victim to thinking everything is some new shit, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Short attention span.
Yeah, everything that's going on in the world. I mean, not just. I try to correlate the world and then also the hip hop as a microcosm. So the world is at a point where it's really factional. Like everyone's about their country. We have made it to a point where it was more global freedom. We're on globalization. Everyone wants. I want to go wherever I want to go. I mean, there's planes that could get us where we need to go. But now we're coming back to, nah, this is America. Nah, you're going to have to pay extra, all these tariffs. And it's coming to a tit for tat situation instead of free movement of ideas. But now even further, we're going to put out some fake ideas for you. And control the direction that each population goes to the point where Americans will rather put their money towards other countries instead of helping ourselves. Like, just in a general sense, I live in Hilltop, Tacoma. Josh is in the epicenter, where the drugs have overtaken a large part of our population. And when you walk through, it's a bunch of black people. There's a few white folks and Mexicans and Asians sprinkled in here and there, but it's probably 85% black folks living on the street in their tents, using these drugs that don't come, they're not manufactured nowhere in America, but they get here somehow. And Trump ain't trying to stop no shit to help black folks. It's because in other places, the populations that they have looks just as destitute and living in the same tents and causing the same trash and rats infestations to start to grow in the city, but they're white. So that's what makes it important to them. The white kids that start dying. It was before fentanyl. It was what was it before that? The opioid crisis. Oh yeah, the Oxycontins. Yeah. Black folks was dying from those too, but they didn't care about black folks. They cared about the white people dying. So now we got to do something.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't discount them from trying to do something. Like, they should do something. We should be doing something to make our streets better. But it's the motivation, is what I say. Is Tacoma ain't doing shit but moving these motherfuckers around. They throw big-ass boulders on the streets and in the spots where they sleep at so they can't set up tents, so they have to move to a different spot. But we're spending mad millions of dollars, like right now, fearful that we're not going to get the money from Trump because he don't want to keep sending us money because we're just spending it. And this is factual. People down at Tacoma City government, and I'm sure Olympia is the same, they've gotten money passed that they were supposed to get a year or two ago, and it's possible that that money might not show up now. So they're trying to hurry up and spend it before it doesn't show up. So it's already spent. So you guys have to give us some money. I know the city is doing it right now with my Hilltop project. We're trying to hurry up and get it done. And I'm trying to do my part to make my contribution not rushed. But I know for a fact there is the possibility, or they're really trying to get it done so the money doesn't disappear. But if that's how the whole country is operating, let's hurry up and spend this money before they take it away? Like, what are we really doing? It's the whole AI play. You guys are trying to cheat this system and be lazy.
Yeah.
You guys are in here pushing around money to shit that really don't matter. There's mad positions in. Oh man, I'm sorry. I went off the deep end going into the government and politics. We're supposed to be talking about the AI and impact on hip hop. I'm just getting very passionate and emotional right now.
It definitely corresponds, nonetheless.
Well, Josh dropped off a while ago, but we're kind of right at where we normally would be ending towards. So, do you have any last pressing items that you want to add in before we close out our live?
Spring is finally here, so count on whatever things that you ruminated and thought about during the winter to come to germination and seed. I mean, seed first, then germination, then bloom, then fruit. So count on things that you planted to be sowed. And whatever plant you choose to water, that's up to you. But the idea of manifesting is real. People talk shit about it. They call it pseudoscience, but your thoughts are real, man. Like, think good thoughts about yourself. Think good plans about yourself. Implement those, and the universe will work with you, not against you.
Very well put. I couldn't have said it better myself. So if you haven't planted any seeds already, get to planting. This will be the end of today's show. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll be back at you